it's that magical time of year, the end of 2024, and if you're anything like me, well, this is the season for dreaming big. You're reflecting on what's behind you and you're planning for what's ahead. But let me share a little secret, which is I don't believe in traditional goal setting. Why? Because let's be honest, goals can feel overwhelming, rigid, and often just disconnected from real life. So instead, I have found something that I feel really works for me, and I think it may work for you as well. So I use a minimalist planning method that just allows me to focus on small, meaningful shifts. And this approach, well, it's helped me run a business that serves clients in 47 countries at this point, while being present as a mum to my 2 kids and staying grounded in my own life. And so today, I'm taking you behind the scenes to show you exactly how I plan my year in just one day. And you don't need a color-coded calendar or a million sticky notes, although I love myself a sticky note. You just need clarity, intention, and a system that works for you. So grab a pen, print out my vision planner. You're going to find a link below. You can access it online or print it off, whatever works for you. And if you're excited for this, well, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in a second. So why I love doing this exercise is that it allows me to look at my whole life and review where I am right now and then where I want to be next year. And the focus is on making shifts rather than just these like unrealistic giant leaps in every area of your life, which is, well, unrealistic, and you're going to burn out. So the 10 categories that we're going to explore are health, wealth, self-care, family, relationships, business profit, building your tribe, products and services, focus and productivity, and impact and legacy. So the first thing I'd love you to do is choose your word for the year. So this is a single word or phrase that reflects the energy or intention that you want to bring into 2025. So for me, my word is ease. So I want to feel ease in how I navigate my business, my family, and my personal growth. It's about enjoying the small moments and embracing simplicity. And the first thing I like to do is get really clear on what success looks like for me. So for me, success is freedom in my business. So financial freedom and freedom to work with who I want, and a real sense of being on my own path. And it's also about making an impact. But for you, that might be something different. More time off, like more security, more time with family or friends, or industry awards, people saying amazing things. Maybe it's just reaching a financial goal. There is no right or wrong when doing this. So you want to write down what success looks like for you, and then just get really clear on why it's important. And the reason why you want to get clear on this is because when you start mapping out how you're going to achieve the things that you want, if that's out of alignment with what your definition of success is to you, then you need to know that you need to look at that. For example, if you've written down that you want more freedom in your life, to work less, and then you plan your year so you're working 80 hours a week, then it's not going to work. Like, you're going to feel out of alignment and you're going to feel totally miserable. So taking time to think about the why in all of this is key. All right, so now looking at the different areas of your life, looking at where you are right now and where you want to get to in the next year, I'd like to use this dial that you can see here from 0 to 10, and 0 is terrible and 10 is literally reaching the optimal situation. So first we need to define what 10 is in that category, and that's going to be personal to you. And so this is about focusing on making shifts by being consistent and patient. And think, when we focus on making those baby steps, on the process rather than just making these big goals, that's when we're more likely to make these things happen. So to give you an example, 10 in health for me is going to the gym 4 times a week. It's eating really well, getting 8 hours of sleep every night. And then I would write down in relation to that where I feel I sit right now in 2024 and where I want to be in 2025. So again, it's about shifts, and actually some shifts will be bigger in some areas. So the areas that you really want to work on. And then you're going to write down what you're going to do to make this possible. So I look at what needs to happen, but also what needs to be subtracted in my life too. So with health, I need to not stay up watching something late on Netflix if I seriously want to get more sleep. And so maybe it's like no TV in the week. So that's what I'd be subtracting. And then what you're going to do for each of the categories. So with wealth, what do you want to earn? What would be the number 10 on that dial. And this is an interesting category because often I think as women, we limit our thinking around what we can earn. And I know, coming from an international development background and working in children's services, for a very long time, I held money stories that, I wasn't worthy of money. I felt weirdly guilty focusing on making a profit. And it took me a very, very long time to work through these money blocks. So take some time to think about what's your 10. Think about where you are right now and where do you want to be in 2025? And actually, what will you do to achieve that number? Like, what will you subtract? And I know that I can't give every single project in my company 100%. It's not possible. So I work out the financial outcome I want. What is it that I'm going to focus on? What are the activities that I'm going to do to increase revenue significantly with that project to reach my goal? Okay, self-care. So this is different to health, although there is some overlap, but 10 for me is drinking my coffee before my kids get up, visiting a community sauna near us a few times a month with some of my girlfriends. They have amazing cold baths, and I find that relaxing and fun. Running helps me relax. Weight training makes me feel like I'm investing in me. Reading a book focused on self-development every month. Then it's where I am right now. So I look at that. Where do I want to be? So what do I need to do to reach my goal? So if I say I want to read a self-development book every month, I would say I'm going to read 5 pages every morning. And there's no way, by the way, I'm going to do that at nighttime. So it's about being true to yourself. Like, what is actually doable? And you want to go through all of these categories laid out in this worksheet. So I want to spend more time with my children in general, but also I think they would really benefit from more one-on-one time with me. Relationships. So this is your personal relationships with people in your life, maybe a partner or friends. Business and profit. So knowing your numbers is key. And I talk a lot about this in this video here where, I go into understanding your metrics and your costs. So firstly, if you're already working as a sleep consultant, you want to know what your operating profit for 2024 is. And then what you want to do is look at where you want to be in 2025. But to really look at this, you need to understand the activities that generated the profit. And of course, once you know that, you know what to double down on. Okay, so building your tribe. So this is about your audience, your community, and maybe this has been a key area for you. Maybe it's an area that you need to focus on. And so again, you really want to be thinking about what it is exactly you're going to do to move yourself from where you are right now to where you want to be. All right, so building your service. So that relates to your offering. So what do you need to refine and build in your service? Maybe that relates to systems that support your business. Maybe it's the execution. Okay, so business impact and legacy. So what's your North Star, your mission? And if you fulfilled that, what would it look like? What would be your 10? And where are you now in that process? So where do you want to be? So for Baby M and the Holistic Sleep Coaching Program, it's to disrupt the space, challenge industry norms. We want our training to help practitioners deeply empower the families that they serve. And in fact, all of my services and the decisions that I make in my business are all driven by my deeper purpose. So I'd love to know your deeper purpose, the impact that you want to leave in the world and in your business. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so when I've gone through all of these sections, I go through and I pick the 3 key areas that I'm going to focus on, both my personal life and in my business life. And I break that down even more into the metrics that I need to measure to achieve those goals and think about what I need to subtract. So I mentioned that one of my personal goals is to have more one-on-one time with my daughter and my son. So I've written that down. And so what I try and do at the moment, and what I kind of want to do more of, is play some kind of game with my son before school. So maybe it's Jenga, maybe it's reading a book or playing football. And my son is now at the age where he only speaks the language of Arsenal. Let me know if you can relate. Already just spending 15-20 minutes together in the morning having fun. It's amazing. And I want to continue that. And I want to do it more often because I know it has a huge impact in all the right ways. Okay, and then one of my business goals will be to grow our audience. So using YouTube as a key platform. So I know that I need to block out at least 2 days every month to really think about what I'm going to say, plan the content, and then a day to record those videos. All right, so here's the part where we take everything that we've worked on, our priorities, our goals, and we turn them into something actionable. And honestly, this step used to overwhelm me because I wanted everything mapped out perfectly. But I've realized it's not about being perfect. It's about starting somewhere. And so here's what I do now, and it's made such a difference. I start by grabbing either a big bit of paper or opening a simple spreadsheet. Yes, I'm a person that loves a good spreadsheet. And then I block out the non-negotiables first. So family time, holiday, personal days, they go in first. And then I layer in the business activities that align with my goals. And one thing that's really helped me is keeping a journal of how long things actually take. For instance, I know that it takes me about a day to think of the 3 YouTube topics that I'm going to write, and then write those scripts out. And then filming those scripts takes me about 2 hours. So just by tracking my time, I can plot time out to do these tasks. Like, it's pretty consistent. And I've also learned to create systems for repeat tasks as well. For example, when we plan webinars, we follow the same steps every time. You know, who does what, when things need to happen. It's all outlined, it's all structured. And again, I know roughly how long it takes to do all of those steps. And so that keeps things moving smoothly, and it takes the guesswork out of everything. But for a long time, I would just write these big dreamy goals and not actually map out anything, you know, by the month or by the week, and how to actually make it happen. And so that made things feel really scrappy. And here's a great tip a mentor shared with me, and I come back to this all the time. And so what I do is I look at what I've written down and I ask myself, like, 1, does this need to be done at all? Sometimes we do things out of habit because we think we should, but we need to be ruthless. And so if we don't need to do it, cross it off the list. 2, does this need to be done by me? This one's hard, right? Because if someone else can handle it, like, let them. Delegation is a skill that I'm still learning, but it's been a lifesaver. Number 3, does this need to be done right now? Not everything is urgent. And if it's not, then just move it to next week or next month. Like, take the pressure off yourself. And I used to think that I needed everything planned out perfectly, but I've realized that simple wins every time. And a book that's really shifted my mindset is Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And it's about focusing on what matters most and letting go of the rest. And if you haven't read it, I can't recommend it enough. It's not just about kind of productivity. It's about finding clarity in your life and in your business. Okay, so when I've got my priorities mapped out, I revisit them every 90 days. Life happens, plans change, school holidays definitely mean more planning is needed. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you watching this feel that too. But kind of checking in regularly with this plan kind of keeps me on track without feeling like boxed in. And the truth is, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about creating a system that supports the life and the business that you actually want, not one that kind of leaves you feeling stretched too thin. And remember, you don't have to get it all right first time. You're the scientist of your own life. So just test, adjust, and just keep going. And if this sounds helpful, I'd love to hear from you. You know, what's the one small thing that you're going to take away from this and try? So let me know in the comments, and don't forget to grab the Vision Planner worksheet. It's linked below, and it's simple, but it's honestly been a game changer for me, and I think it could be helpful for you too. I hope so. And thank you so much for watching, and I'm wishing you so much success and happiness for 2025. Speak soon.